Hello. In this video, we're going to go over why Childish Gambino is one of my most favorite artists. Okay, so first I'm going to tell you a little story. I was first aware of Donald Glover, the actor, from the show Community, and I listened to Childish Gambino from the Team Teamwork remixes. Team Teamwork was a producer collective who made Ocarina of Rhyme, Super Nintendo Sega Genesis, say that 5 times fast, and Final Fantasy VII. On the mixtape Super Nintendo Sega Genesis, this Childish Gambino song, Let Me Dope You, was over the soundtrack from Streets of Rage 2, or Streets of Rage. I'm not sure if this is the first one or the second one. I thought this was really cool. I listened to this often and then listened to more Childish Gambino. And at the time, Cul-de-sac, Camp, and Freaks and Geeks were coming out around that time. It wasn't until I saw him on Jimmy Fallon performing his song Bonfire off of Camp that I put two and two together that Childish Gambino was Donald Glover, and Donald Glover was Childish Gambino. We know the meme. It was great because I was really becoming a fan. And in the summer of 2012, I was about 16 years old, about to be 17. And I really liked this girl from my high school. And we both liked Childish Gambino. And I was able to go with her and her sister to the concert. It was the summer camp concert, one of his first tours, I believe. It was tour for the Camp album. And then after the concert, his tour bus was around the back, and he was signing autographs. He said he could sign autographs, but couldn't take pictures. I was able to get my ticket signed, and I asked him if I could beatbox for him, and I did. And he was really nice about it. He was really, really nice about it. He said I was good, and this gave me the confidence to become a producer. Really. I mean, it was 3 years later. When I was 19, I brought my first FL Studio. I brought FL Studio, and the rest is history. Now, a few months ago, I actually saw him on concert again doing the New World Tour. And unfortunately, he got hurt, but it was amazing. Okay, now let's get into how he influences my music. Now, although Childish Gambino's been rapping since he was young, he was rapping before he was a writer. His first profession, what he got paid for, was writing for TV, particularly 30 Rock. I think that this makes Donald Glover a really well-practiced storyteller. Because the internet displays his storytelling ability the most, but even Camp tells a story. He tells a story. His strongest skill in these works are his ability to pick the theme and build a story around it. And because the internet, he mostly picked existentialism, like the boy is going through an existential crisis. The existentialist nature of the character was along the backdrop of modern internet culture. And because the internet, the boy loses most of his authority figures, mostly his father. The boy is then left to find out what he wants to do in life. And because the internet, or because of media, he ends up selling drugs in the end. I think that's what why the cops are called and things like that. I don't remember the entire script that came with it. Now Donald's ability to hone in on themes inspired my every project. When I made Villain Arc and Beyond Good and Evil, I wanted to hone in on the lonely misogynist. And in Death Drive, I wanted to focus on the Freudian and Lacanian notion of the death drive. So I'm taking one core idea and building it. And I'm trying to really send a direct message to the audience. And I want to say that this was his goal in his writings, in his albums too, is like build a message and then really kind of beam it at the audience. And hopefully they get it. I mean, of course, we live more in a postmodern age where texts are up for interpretation and things like that. But an author can try to still be alive. So that was my influence for the most part. His thematic crafting. I want to say it like that, if I can. Now, I want to get into his best album because I did Kanye's what I thought Kanye's best album was, and now I want to do what Childish Gambino's best album is. And I really think, and I was thinking about this for a while, and I think it's a cross between 31520, the White Album, or Ada Vista. And I think 31520 is better than Ada Vista, mostly because of the transitions and the themes are much darker. The theme, or I guess themes for the album, are quite dark and dystopian. It might be a sequel to Becomes the Internet, 31520, and Ada Vista, I guess, as it deals with the human condition in the late digital age. In 31520, we have the two songs that are named are Algorithm and Time. Algorithm is a computer term that refers to the sequence that computers follow in order to execute a task. The rhythm refers to the humanity's algorithm, like the algorithm of humans, what we move to, what we're doing to complete our task. We can say that the rhythm is the rules that we're following, the system of control. We then have time, and in time, we then have the song Time, and in computer science, there's a such thing as time complexity, which is the time it takes for an algorithm or program to run. In the first line of Time, Childish Gambino says, 7 billion people trying to free themselves, which means as it relates back, we're moving through this algorithm, but we're also attempting to free ourselves from the algorithm. In 31520, the rest of the songs are just time stamps, as if each of the songs themselves are a single algorithm, and the album itself creates an algorithm with a time complexity. And then we can even take this further as Bando the Stone being a sequel, and Bando Stone being what happens when the algorithm ends, and nature, and there's no more computers, no more technology, and we're just left with nature growing beyond humanity. Those are my thoughts on his best album. That's why I think it's his best album, because it's so thematically rich, but it's ambiguous at the same time. It took me years to really kind of come to this conclusion, but I think it's a good guess. But tell me what you think in the comments. That's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you like the video, and let me know in the comments if you want more of my influences or want to hear more album breakdowns.